Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're making banana muffins, banana bread, whatever. I have not made this for a couple years because I haven't bought bananas in like 2 years, I swear. And it's because bananas were 49 cents a pound for a very long time, and then they jumped up to 59 cents a pound, and I refused to buy them, thinking that it was inflation and they were going to come back down and it was temporary, but that's not the case. And so now I have had to go back to buying bananas and paying the inflation price, and I hang my head in shame. So for this recipe, we're going to cream butter and sugar together. Start with half a cup of butter or um, vegan margarine and 1 cup of sugar. I'm doing half a cup of sugar and half a cup of sucralose to make it low sugar. And then you're going to add in 2 eggs. This is an egg substitute of 1 tablespoon of cornstarch mixed with 3 tablespoons of water. It is my favorite egg substitute because I don't have to make anything ahead of time like you would with aquafaba egg substitute. I don't have to pay a bunch of money for something like you would with flax seeds, and I honestly just love it. So I think you're supposed to cream the butter and sugar and then add the egg. So I think I just showed myself making the egg substitute before I even creamed the sugar together and the butter, because it was, I don't know, I do things out of order sometimes. So we're going to be adding 2 eggs or 2 combinations of a tablespoon of cornstarch and 3 tablespoons of water. And I usually mix it as if it were 1 egg at a time, because in the past when I've done too much water into the bowl at once, I haven't had a very good result. And I don't know what else would have caused I don't remember what it was. The cookies were cake-like. Yes, that's what it was. I'm not sure what else would have caused that besides the too much water. Whisk, whisk, whisk. Whisk, whisk, whisk. Whisk your cornstarch. Whisk your cornstarch.
We've been looking at each other's.
I also like the cornstarch eggs substitute because it doesn't add any kind of unusual flavor to what you're making. Applesauce and bananas are also an egg substitute, but those are very strong flavors, so you may not want to change the flavor of your recipe just because you feel like going vegan.
It's been a long time trying to get it right. Is there anything left there for you?
This is what it looks like after all those ingredients are mixed, and it's not looking very great. It doesn't look like it's mixed at all. But then I'm going to go ahead and add the flour and see if that helps. You want to add 1 3/4 cups of flour. I did do 1 cup of whole wheat flour because I was running out of whole wheat flour, and then I did 3/4 cup of white flour. Actually, I'm doing the all-purpose flour first. So it's 3/4 cup of all-purpose flour and 1 cup of whole wheat flour in my recipe. I have done it probably, actually in the past, I think I've only done it with all-purpose flour because around the time bananas got expensive is when I found out I had pre-diabetes, and I don't think I've made this since that discovery.
Now I know you don't wanna.
So that's what the batter looks like when the flour's all in it. Well, actually, I guess only half the flour was in it. Sorry, I'm not paying attention to this video. I don't know why I'm not paying attention if I expect you to pay attention. So I don't know if I mentioned that this recipe originally came from my former mother-in-law. My first husband's mom must have given me this recipe. I don't remember why. You know what? I do remember why. I believe that there was a binder full of family recipes called Come for Dinner, Stay for Supper. And I was like, but those are both the same meal. So I don't know, do you call dinner lunch? Like, I guess the people I used to be related to, they're from Minnesota, South Dakota, even Canada. And this family recipe book called Dinner Lunch or vice versa, and I was like super confused. Or maybe it was come for supper, stay for dinner. Whatever it was, it didn't make any sense to me because supper is in the evening, and so is dinner to me. Let me know what you call. Do you call supper dinner, or what do you call it? What are the names of the meals at the times that you eat them? So I'm mixing all of the flour and adding a teaspoon of baking soda after the flour is added. Most recipes will have you add all of the dry ingredients together after those are whisked. This one didn't, which could be something that I did when I made it myself or when I typed it up. And then 1 teaspoon of baking powder. I don't know if you saw in the very beginning, I had, what do you call that wire whisk thing? Like a different attachment on the stand mixer, and that wasn't going so great. So I sneakily changed it, and I think I cut out that part. But this paddle is typically what I would use for making cookies, and usually the wire one is what I would use for making cake. And so I started off with that one, but it didn't work. It wasn't mixing like the butter wasn't mixing very well. So I guess I'll just be using this for everything that involves batter. And then it says to add salt to taste, so I didn't measure it. Now we're supposed to add 3 mushy bananas, and let me tell you, these are not mushy. So I bought bananas maybe a week before making this and threw them in the fridge. And if you throw bananas in the fridge, they actually stay pretty solid inside for a long time afterwards. Especially if they're already green. You can make bananas last like 2 weeks if you start them off green in the fridge. The skin will turn brown and all, like the skin looks like the picture of Dorian Gray when the weeks have passed up. Please give me some kind of emoji in the comments if you know what I'm talking about with that reference. I was an English major in college, and that was one of my favorite books. So these bananas aren't really that mushy. Is there a picture emoji? If there's a picture emoji, I don't do emojis, but if that exists, throw that in the comments if you know about the picture of Dorian Gray. And give me like 2 of them if you've seen the picture at the Chicago Art Institute, because that is one of my favorite attractions there. These bananas aren't very mushy because I didn't stick them in the freezer, and I didn't wait for them to like naturally get mushy. So I don't think I'm going to have the same results as you would if you stuck them in the freezer. They will get a lot more watery. You definitely want to put that water in the batter. The more water is in the batter, the moister and denser well, I don't know if dense is the word, but the better they will be. And that's what the batter looks like when it's finished. So I'm going to pop it in my cupcake tin. This recipe does say you can throw it in a 9x5 bread pan. Although I wrote bread ban in my recipe, so I've got to fix that. I don't know what a bread ban is. It's people who are keto. So I'm making cupcakes or muffins because I prefer to just grab one and eat it and not have to worry about slicing things. And also, I don't know why else. I guess I'm just used to it. I used to make this for breakfast for myself, but I don't eat breakfast anymore. I would take these to work and eat them, or I would take like a cereal bar and eat that. And those were the 2 things I had for breakfast, or a piece of like an actual piece of fruit, like an actual banana. Those are my 3 breakfast items when I ate breakfast and when I worked in an office.
So save it for another time, 'cause 100 more tries.
So if you're making this in a bread tin, you will bake it at 350 for 55 minutes. And if you're baking it in as a cupcake, it'll be 375 for 15 minutes. I did 16 for good measure, and they're still kind of raw looking. So I threw them in there for 2 more minutes. This may be another reason why I don't make this as bread too often, because I'm not going to wait 55 minutes for my food to be done. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I know you, baby. Yeah, I know we both have much more to give.
I got these silicone cupcake liners a while back on probably Amazon or some other site like that. And I really like them for the environmental factor. I've had them for, since 2019 or 2018 maybe. Definitely 2019, because I was really into zero waste around then. And I really just love not having to throw stuff away. But they stain really easily, and I'm not thrilled with that. I kind of wish that I'd gotten black ones instead of rainbow because then I wouldn't notice the stain. If you know how to clean that off, give me a heads up and I will try to clean them, make them a little bit prettier for you. But I'm always about function over beauty. Now I'm going to throw those in the oven and do it for 15 minutes, see if they are done by then.
When you meet someone else, and if they mean that much, I hope
And these look all right, so we're going to go ahead and do our taste test.
you miss a touch, yeah. I hope you say as much and never falter.
So I am trying to remember the last time I made banana bread, and I'm pretty sure it was a lot browner than this, like very obviously the color brown instead of the color tan. The texture is great. They're definitely cooked all the way through, and they've got a nice brown, crusty top. Not that crusty. Um, they taste like banana. They taste good, but I could have sworn that they used to be a lot darker, and that may be because my bananas weren't mushy enough.
Again, when you meet someone else.
Alright guys, I hope you liked this vegan recipe. Also pretty low sugar. That's a plus. Please like, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed it, and happy eating!